I think sometimes of what 20th century literature and writing would have been without the work of the Irish. And it just amazes me, since probably the greatest novelist writing in English during the 20th century was James Joyce. Greatest poet writing in English was probably William Butler Yeats, both Irish. But there are many, many other Irish writers. And really the answer is we would have had a poor, diminished world without the writing of the Irish. I've heard hysterical women say they're sick of the palette and fiddle bow of poets that are always gay, for everybody knows, or else should know, that if nothing drastic is done, Aeroplane and Zeppelin will come out pitch like King Billy bomb balls in until the town lie beaten flat. All perform their tragic play. There starts Hamlet, there is Lear, that's Ophelia, that Cordelia. Yet they, should the last scene be there, the great stage curtain about to drop, if worthy of their prominent part in the play, do not break up their lines to weep. They know that Hamlet and Lear are gay, gaiety transfiguring all that dread. All men and women have aimed at, found, and lost. Black out, heaven blazing into the head, tragedy wrought to its uttermost, though Hamlet rambles and Lear rages, and all the drop scenes drop at once upon 100,000 stages, it cannot grow by an inch or an ounce. On their feet they came, or on shipboard, horseback, assback, camelback, muleback, old civilizations put to the sword. Then they in their wisdom went to wrack. No handiwork of Callimachus, who handled marble as if it were bronze, made draperies that seemed to rise when sea winds swept the corner stands. His long lamp chimney, shaped like the stem of a slender palm, stood but a day. All things fall and are built again, and those that build them again are gay. Two Chinamen, behind them a third, are carved in Lapis Lazuli. Over them flies a long-legged bird, a symbol of longevity. The third, doubtless a serving man, carries a musical instrument. Every discoloration in the stone, every accidental crack or dance seems a watercourse or an avalanche or a lofty slope where it still snows, though doubtless plum or cherry blossom Sweden's the little halfway house those Chinamen climb towards, and I imagine them seated there on the mountains and the sky. One asks for mournful melodies, accomplished fingers begin to play. Their eyes made many wrinkles, their ancient, glittering eyes are gay. Okay. There is no poem written in the last 100 years or even 200 years that speaks to contemporary world with more insight and urgency than Yeats's short poem, The Second Coming. Now, if you don't know the poem and you're hearing it for the first time, you're going to think, wow, this is just a pastiche of the titles of modern books, which is because the poem hits so deeply in the hearts and psyches and souls of readers that people use the images from the poem as their titles to books. It's astonishing, but pretend you're hearing this for the first time. Yeats published it in 1920, but I swear it is so contemporary. It really should be on the front page of every newspaper in the country today. Turning and turning in the widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere In the sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, it's moving its slow thighs, while all about it reel shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born?